Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide here to Manor Lords. So we're digging out some new burgage plots, and we're going to wait for those to get in. I have decided, I was reading some comments, and one of the commenters on my Let's Play really reinforced to me the power of the vegetable garden, and I was going to save my wealth so that I could buy some sheep, but I still think I can buy one sheep if I just put in one vegetable garden. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to take one of these burgage plots that we have right here and just go to this gear icon with the hammer in the upper right of the tooltip window for the burgage plot, and you can see that there's a backyard extension button, and we're just going to click vegetable garden. Now this is going to use 15 wealth. We start with 50. This is the villager's wealth, and we click that, and it takes wealth from our regional wealth, and you can see it's been put in here. Now they aren't done with it yet, but they will eventually plant that, and it will provide passive food for us that can sustain us through lean periods, especially like when there's no berries. And as we talked about, when you look at the house here, they need to have at least 2 different types of food supplied to be able to upgrade to the next level. It's part of their requirements. So if we look at our food tab, we have meat and we have bread, but the starter bread will wear off after a while, and we're going to need some other types of food. So if we get berries coming in, we get meat from hunting, and then we get some vegetables. That'll be 3, but there are times when you can't hunt anymore because, you know, you're maybe at this point when you're at 10 out of 20 animals and you don't want to overhunt. So then the meat stops rolling in, and you don't want to fall behind with just berries. So having a few vegetables will help us with that. We might actually make more vegetables, but I also like a chicken farm because that provides eggs, which is yet another type of food. Alright, so they're bringing this over here, and remember I still have 2 families, I'm going to push X to speed it up, that are unassigned so that we can build these houses faster. They're throwing in this larger burgage plot over here. And we just got a family to join one of these houses, and they finished this burgage. Now, it is worth just kind of taking a look at, you see how there's this living space house icon, and before it was a 0. Now it's a 4, but then you see how there's +1 green in parentheses? This means that another living space, which is this, is in the works. It's in construction, or under construction. So we will eventually have 5 plots. Now 5 plots is good, but we're going to want 6 so that we can get more people to move in. However, I'm going to kind of just delay that. I don't want to queue that up just yet because I want them to get this done. And then I want to destroy this homeless people's tents and build a berry a forager hut. How are we doing on our supplies? We have 6 months of food and now 5 months of fuel because people are getting us firewood. So you can see this number is kind of fluctuating. We have a food stall and a firewood stall in the marketplace. All right, and let's just kind of slow them down. See how everybody's doing. Now they're complaining that there's exposed goods, which there are. These are exposed. So I'm going to throw a family actually onto the granary. And what this will do is they will force a family to work here, and they will start picking up all of these supplies and putting them in there. Now, not all of these are granary supplies, but the food we want to move inside so that it doesn't rot or perish or anything. And we're almost done building this, so we're actually okay. Now here's a cool tip. See when I'm zoomed out? If you hold tab displays a kind of overview of everything that's going on in your village. And you could see, for example, like if I look at a house, there's one family that lives here, and that you could see like what they have access to, and you could see if they've been assigned labor or not. You can also see the percentage of construction. You could see, like, for example, at the storehouse, it has 0 out of 2, means it could hold more. It's not storing its capacity. The granary, oh, I'm sorry, 0 out of 2 means dirt, not storage. That's how many people are working there. So there's nobody working here. And, but there is nothing stored inside as well. I'm sorry, you just can't see that from the tab screen. It's more about labor and employment. You see the stalls here. You see these stacks of supplies. You see where the livestock is. You can see the oxen over there moving to get trees. And right away, remember how we had so many trees? They're gone. We've cleared this out. So it's probably time for us to start replanting trees. Now, another thing to understand is the berries can only grow in a forest. So if you chop all of the trees down around your berry gathering area, it will disappear. So you want to make sure that if your berries are nearby where your logging camp is, you click on logging camp and you go into the advanced, and then you go ahead and you limit the work area. And you could use control and the mouse wheel to kind of scale this. But I'm going to tell them to, like, I could tell them where to go if I want to, shape this out, for example. Like, let's say I don't want any trees, like, over here. So I'm just like, okay, go get trees over there. All right. And you can see at the granary, they've started to move the bread into the storage here. And this burgage plot is almost done. I'm just going to hold or push X to speed it up so we get this done. And bam, we did it. So, resources added to the inventory, 20 in the storehouse. What was that from? This is from right here. We got an armament delivery. A strong militia is paramount to the survival of any settlement. Luckily, a shipment of weapons has just arrived, and you will now be able to create your first militia banners to serve you and protect your people. However, we will need more weapons to equip all the people as the settlement grows, either by making them or importing them from other lands. Okay, so let's form the militia. So they're going to tell us about doing this now. I'll pause it. It says, to get more population, you need to have enough empty burgage plots, and your approval needs to be over 50. So right now our approval is low, but that was because we had homeless people. This will stabilize at 50 once these people adjust to living at home. That will disappear. We have some exposed goods that are generic goods. So let me look at the granary here, and you see how we have 10 bread and 10 meat. And there's a little bit of meat over here, but for the most part, what this means is the granary people are done doing their work. You could see this person right here is transporting meat. We could watch them. They're probably going to get the rest of the meat and put it over here using this cart. But instead, here's what I want to have happen. I'm going to click on the granary. And this is kind of something I've noticed myself doing. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but this is what I do, which is you really need to manage your labor. Like, the granary now is pretty much done. And if I leave a family here right now, there's not too much else for them to do. Yes, they could get the rest of the meat, but I think the hunters will eventually deliver that. So, the homeless tents just disappeared on their own, so I didn't need to destroy it. Once everybody moved out, they just disappeared. Great. So you won't need to do that either. Once everybody has moved out, your homeless tent will disappear. I'm going to click got it on this message. So I'm going to go over to people, and I'm going to reassign these people to work at the storehouse instead, because I want to have all of the goods that are just out in the wild put into the storehouse. So I'm kind of bebopping them around to get things cleaned up so we can take advantage of this space, for example, take advantage of this space now. And I'm going to unpause it. Now we only have one family free. So I'm going to push construction, and we're going to build another house. Push C, and we're going to go to residential, and I'm going to make a burgage plot over here. Now, another thing, though, I could do is I could click on this, And I could click this button right here to expand the living space. And we're actually going to do that. This is why I built a double wide burgage plot. So I'm going to click expand living space right here. It takes 2 timber to do that. And then it goes under construction. But you'll immediately see that this is a quick, easy way for only 2 timber for us to get 2 families living there. So it's a nice way to produce population density, so that like you can take advantage of less real estate. However, remember when you get to tier 2 housing, burgage plots level 2, and you want to specialize, I think that everyone in the house specializes to the same cottage industry, the same labor. So that might be an issue for diversification. But once you have enough of the burgage plots that are single, I think you're fine. All right. So now, already, okay, even though it said we had to have, oh, never mind. No, it was just the indicator telling us that someone has ultimately moved in here. So this should disappear, and our approval should go to 50. There's a little bit of a delay from when they actually move in to when it registers that they've moved in. So you could see these carts. This is the family, Anna and Nickel, that are transporting stuff. They're getting all of this firewood that we've produced and cleaning up these supplies. So the family that's unassigned, they're coming over here, and they're going to work on building the extension. But the oxen has to come over, you could see, and deliver the timber. There's one of the 2 timber that it needs. And now that this indicator has disappeared, you see, for the storehouse, I'm actually going to, I'm going to let them get where they need to go and see, what are you doing now? Transporting hides. Oh, they're going to get hides over here from the hunter camp. Yeah, there's 9 in there. Okay. That's fine. You could do that. So I'll let them get the hides. But now that there's no goods that are just out and rotting away, I'm going to move that family. So you know how like at the hunting camp, they have internal storage? I do believe that that internal storage at that facility protects those goods. And you don't have to worry about them in the elements. So I'm going to wait for the hides to get into here. And they haven't arrived yet. So here comes the cart. As soon as he gets there, I'm going to unassign this family, and we're going to get some new jobs going. Okay, he did it. So let's take a look at the storehouse. You can see that now we have 93 out of 250 generic storage. This is just aggregating all the different item types and the quantity of them. So you add up the quantity of all the stuff we have here, and it's not about weight or about size, it's just about raw numbers, and we have still plenty of storage left. So I'm going to then go here, and I'm going to just unassign the family from this labor, and they'll help build, but I'm going to start some new projects. I'm going to go to gathering, and we're going to throw in a forager hut. And remember, the berries are over here, so I'm going to put the forager hut right here. It's going to be on the King's Road, across from the hunting camp, close to this, but close also to the labor so they can get to work easily when they need to. And we're just going to speed it up. And construction upgrade complete. So you see right here, they've built this little second house along the burgage plot, and now 2 families can live here. And you see we have living space for 6. So once this gets above 50, we should be set. Now I'm going to go over here, and I'm also going to just expand that living space. I have 10 timber, which is a good amount, but it's actually not that much. So we might need to consider getting some more timber. We could either assign people here, or what I'm going to do is actually just go to advanced, and we will move the work area to kind of over here. There is a timber just laying there that we didn't collect yet, so we should get that. just going to kind of move this to there. Make sure we're still getting trees. I think we've cleared out this entire area, so there's no big trees. Like, there's this big tree, but we can leave that there for now. So now, it says we have living space for 7, but they have to finish building it for that to actually happen. And we could check out our food. And you can see that they have planted vegetables here in the backyard of their vegetable plot. I am actually going to say, as much as I want a sheep, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just purchase a goat shed. Now you say, why are you buying a goat shed? The chicken coop is great for eggs. It's another source of food. Food is very important. Goat shed, though, provides hides, which is also important because you can use hides with a tannery to make clothing, which is one of the needs that people have too. So if I look at food, we have bread and we have meat. And I'm going to click on goat shed. Now, the goat shed does not provide food or milk or anything, but it provides hides. So we're going to let that go, get that rolling. And now it's time to talk about, as they build a forger hut, when we got the military warning, I was expecting a tutorial to pop up, but the first thing we need to do is go, you see how in the top center of the heads-up display there's a pentagon that has a 1 in it. That means that we have actually a development point to spend right here. So now you can see we have 1 development point, says in the bottom center how many we have, and we can allocate it to any of these different trees. We can, for example, go here if we want a firewood cart, which provides a passive income of firewood, as long as we have enough regional wealth. So we have to kind of bring in firewood, which, okay, fine. But we also can get a food cart, which provides a passive income of bread as long as we have enough wealth. So we could basically pay for the importing of these goods, but we don't pay the transporting fee. I'm not sure. I've never gotten this. I don't know how much it actually drains your economy. Trade Logistics says whenever you establish a trade route, it always costs a maximum of 25 regional wealth. This is actually really good because in my experience, the first trade route you buy is pretty cheap, but then it starts to get more expensive the more routes you have. So this is nice for saving you money. Now, you can also go up here and do the heavy plow, which allows people to plow bigger fields, or you can allow people to have an apple orchard, or you can do sheep breeding. Now, what I had liked doing was over here, this forest management, which doubles the capacity of all berry deposits. And this means that basically you're just going to have so many berries. And I like this a good bit. Now, trapping allows you to lay traps to give a passive income of meat. And the nice thing about this is I don't think it counts against your how many wild animals you have, so it doesn't like overhunt. It just, allows you to get a little extra meat. But I'm going to take berries because I just found this to be really nice so that we can have extra berries. Now, you can see right here, our berry deposit has just doubled immediately. So it's growing, so it will fill up to 128. And once we start to get the forager hut in, they can come get berries and they'll get double. And the nice thing about berries is, number one, it's a food source, and it provides a lot of food because, remember, every family just needs one every month. Berries, nothing in this game, at least right now, in early access, spoils. So the berries never spoil, so you can store a ton of them and keep them over the winter and just keep eating them. But also, you can turn berries into dye, and you can sell dyes to make money with the trade route, and it's just a nice little boost to your income. I made a ton of money just turning a ton of extra berries into dyes. So that's one thing that you can do. But if you're, not really into picking berries, most of the choices for the development are awesome for where to spend your development points. And you get one every time you upgrade your town. And if you want to know how to upgrade your town, you can mouse over the top center of the heads-up display where it says your town name, and it says we're a small village. And each level gets you a development point that you can use to specialize your town and make it more efficient. So if we want to make a medium village, we need burgage plots at level 1 or higher, so we need 5 of those, and then we need burgage plots at level 2 or higher, and we need 2 of those. So we need some level 2 and some level 1. Now, I don't know why it's not giving me credit for having burgage plots at level 1, maybe because this one is under construction or something. Oh, yeah, so it doesn't count the burgage plots that are under construction in that tabulation. Now, another thing that we can do once we reach this is, I believe we can go to construction and we can go over to this castle for administration building, and we can build a manor. And the manor is really important because it lets us collect taxes and get influence. So this is how we can get money, and you get a starting retinue, which is like a small little garrison of troops that they send to you that can help protect. So this is very good. However, it costs 20 planks and 15 stone. Currently, we only have 10 stone, and we have no planks. So we need to produce planks, and we need to get stone. Now, if I zoom out, there is stone over here. So we can build a place for people to gather stone way over here, and they'll go do that. It's just a long walk, but that's okay. There's nothing we can do about it. It's not close to our settlement. And the other thing that they told us about is down here at the army panel. So if I push V to open up the army panel, I can create new units. And if I click create new units, I could start like forming a militia if I'm interested in doing that. So I can arm the militia. So you see we have 20 spears. So we should make a spear militia unit because they sent us that shipment of weapons, and it was 20 spears. So I'm going to click on this, and it says you've created your first militia unit. The male villagers will be evenly distributed between all militia units. They will then try to find required equipment. The weapon and shield depends on the unit's type, while the maximum quality of body armor and helmet depends on the villager's residential level, which is like the level of their house. After bringing all the necessary equipment home, the unit recruits are marked as ready to rally. Only then you will be able to rally your unit. So you kind of just basically put people on watch like they are in the town guard, but they just do their normal job unless you rally the troops. So we click got it, and you see how it automatically populates this to 10 out of 36. So this is not a full unit. We have recruits missing, but we only have, if I mouse over my total population, I only have 10 male villagers. So they're all going to fight, but that's all I've got. Now we have 20 shields and we have 20 spears. So they all have equipment, but I don't have a very big unit. But that's okay. We're just going to leave this as it is, and as we get more male villagers, they will just automatically join this spear unit, and they will go get a spear from the storehouse and a shield from the storehouse, put it in their house, and then be ready when I want to rally the troops. Now, also, you can hire mercenaries by clicking on this button, and you can see these different mercenary groups, but they cost money. Now, this would be a reason why you might not want to build a vegetable patch or a goat farm or whatever, because you want to hire mercenaries. But in my experience in the early game, you don't need troops that badly until you make money, and you can afford them. It's not a necessity that you're going to have to drop these down. So I'm just using my local guys for this right now, and I'm just going to then push V to close this window and unpause the game. So now we've got the military ready. The people will have to go get the weapons and such, but That's an important step to getting our defenses. All right. And we finished Burgage plot construction. So you can see now here in the backyard, this is our goat area. And usually, let's see, it might not be, are you done? Yeah, you're done. We'll just have to wait until we can see the goats, and then they are working on finishing this. So I'm just going to speed it up. I have 2 families unassigned because I have some construction projects that I want to get done. You can see there's no products, there's no supplies that are out in the rain. You will get a warning if that is the case in the announcements panel. Oh, there we go. There's the goat. Look at that. And this is Conrad, the goat, and Linart, the goat. So we've got goats. And these just kind of chill. And eventually, you know, we can get hides from them when their time comes or whatever. I don't know if we get, I don't think we get anything else. Like, I don't think we get meat or anything. But hides are good. And so you'll start to see, if you mouse over crafting materials, we have 9 hides, for example. This number might eventually go up. The hunting camp has gotten 2 meat, but we haven't been able to do any more hunting because the wild animals are at 10. Now, you could lower your hunting number, but I'm going to keep it at 10 to keep the animal population thriving. And you see these guys right here, they have gone to get shields for themselves out of the equipment in the storehouse, and then this guy's getting like a spear. So they're getting their equipment ready to go. Alright. So, we're doing okay on lumber. But we're making a lot of firewood, and that's okay. People need firewood to be happy. If I look at one of these houses, by the way, you will see that they are almost on their way to becoming level 2. They need a church, and they need clothes. So we're getting really close, but we're going to finish this right here. And now we're at 50%, so it's possible when the new month rolls in that we are going to get some people moving in. Now, if we wanted to, by the way, you can definitely build a farmhouse and a farm if you want to get crops in the ground as well as another food source. And we will do that. But it's the spring, and we're kind of just moving slowly, just trying to get people houses. If we miss a year of farming, it's not the end of the world. But we should be able to make it. Especially once we get more families moving in. So now I'll speed it up. And we're going to finish the construction on these 2 places. You can see, actually, that under favor, it's gone up to 51% because we have a +2 in the recent 30 days, the green number there, market food variety. So if you look at the food variety, they have meat, they have bread. And so that variety has really made them happier. And they've been able to get there because of the marketplace and because they have a house. So now we're actually above on approval. So we could start, building that up, which is tremendous. I'm going to speed it up again. And there we go. So now this is done, and we have enough space for 2 extra families to move in. I want to finish this forager hut. So the oxen is dropping off the logs. And there we go. They're out here chopping down trees. And I'm actually going to go to the logging camp. I'm going to go advanced, and I'm just going to clear the work area to give them unlimited work area. I'm okay with them. I don't want to manage it right now. We'll start repopulating the trees soon. But there's so much forest you could see early game that we need space for our town anyway. I'm not really worried about chopping down some trees at the moment. So we'll do that. It's just travel time, but we will be more sustainable. Now the forager hut is done, so I'm going to throw a group. A family has just been assigned to that labor. And now we have no construction projects underway, which we need to remedy. So what do we want to build? Well, if we think about gathering, I can build a saw pit to turn timber into planks, which we need if we want to build the manor and the church, for example. And we do. The forester's hut I was talking about, but this is down the road. I don't have enough families to assign to this labor. We have a hunting camp. We have a forager hut. So we could do a saw pit, for sure. We need a stone cutter's camp to get stone as well. And a mining pit is good for iron and for clay. We have the granary and the storehouse. An extra hitching post, maybe, but we don't need that right now. We have a well. We don't need a tavern yet. And the church costs 20 planks. More burgage plots are on the radar. And then we could also build a small field and a farmhouse to get some grain going. We could also build a sheep farm, but to get a sheep farm happening, you have to go over into trade and you have to buy livestock trading post, and you have to have enough money to buy this. So we need burgage plots level 2. We might want a trading post to get goods in as well. And then over in industry, we definitely want to build a tannery at some point. Because this will allow us to upgrade our burgage plots to level 2, because they could start using the hides and turning them into clothing. So let's target getting to burgage plots level 2. Now, getting to burgage plots level 2 can be a mistake if you rush to it. You never want to overdevelop and develop too fast that you can't sustain it. But in my experience, burgage plots 2 are great for getting money, and you just don't have to specialize your labor until you're ready to do that. And you can leave people on just general jobs for now, but have them in a level 2 house so you can collect some money. So the goals, I think, are going to be, we want to build a tannery. We want to build the manor. We want to get a farmhouse and a field going. We need to build more burgage plots. We'd like to get a forester's hut and a saw pit in. And we need more families to come in so we can get more labor going. But right now, we're doing beautifully. We got everybody off the streets. We've got these burgage plots upgraded. We have room for 2 families. Our approval is up to 52. We built a forager hut. We got rid of the homeless tents. We got rid of all the supply things because we allocated labor to the granary and the storehouse. And our little settlement is now a small village and thriving. We even have the makings of a militia conscripted. Everyone, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you're still finding this guide series to be useful and fun. And we will continue the series in the next episode where we talk about even more gameplay as it emerges naturally through our playthrough. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Take care.